Recently, Valve shocked the internet with the announcement of their new Steam machine alongside a revamped Steam controller and a virtual reality headset called the Steam Frame. Valve, having already conquered the PC space, is now looking to become your one-stop shop for gaming in any form, whether that's in the living room, handheld, or virtual. It's a sound strategy that I think has a real opportunity to disrupt the video game landscape, even if the controller kind of reminds me of the form factor of Microsoft's original Xbox controller, the Duke. The biggest announcement of the day is, of course, the Steam Machine, a PC meant to be used in the living room in place of a traditional video game console. Valve boasts that the machine is 6 times as powerful as their Steam Deck, sports a 6-inch cube form factor, and can play modern games at 4K 60 frames per second. Well, they don't elaborate on what modern means. In this instance, they did show a clip of Silent Hills F, so draw your own conclusions there. It will launch with 2 storage options, a 512GB and a 2TB, both of which can be expanded with micro SD cards. The Steam Controller 2.0 comes with a Steam Controller Puck, which is essentially a dongle that allows you to connect to a PC and charge the controller when it's not in use. The feature that really stood out to me was their next generation magnetic thumbsticks that will make it so that the controller won't succumb to stick drift. It also has Rumble, a fairly standard controller feature, and grip-enabled gyro controls, a not-so-standard feature. What will immediately catch the eye of customers is the inclusion of 2 touchpads, similar to the touchpads featured on the Steam Deck. While the concept is novel, after spending over 100 hours gaming on my personal Steam Deck, I must admit that they mostly go unused, while adding to the bulky appearance of the Steam controller. Finally, the last new announcement of the day was the Steam Frame, a VR headset and follow-up to Valve's Index. The Steam Frame sports a 2160 by 2160 LCD per eye display, inside-out camera-based tracking, and 2 interior cameras for eye tracking to give you a better visual experience. You'll be able to download games to the headset and also stream them from your PC. At first glance, the headset looks less cumbersome than most other headsets on the market, and Steam being automatically built in is a huge selling point. It'll be interesting to see if Valve releases a new game akin to Half-Life Alyx alongside the Steam Frame's launch. All 3 newly announced pieces of tech will drop in 2026, though no pricing was announced alongside the reveal. Having become an avid Steam Deck player and evangelist, the concept of having a similarly smooth experience with a console and VR headset intrigues me, especially since my Steam library has only continued to grow alongside each Steam sale, meaning that if I were to pick up the Steam Machine or the Steam Frame, I would already have access to a huge library of titles. We'll have to wait and see how well the products perform before we begin writing obituaries for the PlayStation Xbox, but if ever there were a company that could upend the console market, it's Valve. I see the Steam Machine as a continuation of the Steam Deck's promise to offer gamers gaming with less of a hassle. One of the major selling points about consoles, and why so many people are hesitant to move on from them to PCs, is the fact that, for the most part, there's no trouble shooting with a console. You install the game, be that on a disc or by downloading it, and you're ready to play. You're not left to update drivers or tinker with settings to get your game to run smoothly. It works with little to no hassle. If the Steam Machine can emulate that kind of reliability and ease of use, then it could seriously challenge the PlayStation's dominance in the living room. Given that the Steam Deck is already easy to use, I think that Valve recognizes the value proposition of their products lie in its ease of use. The other big question surrounding the Steam Machine is the price. When it was initially announced, I figured that it would be priced in line with the PS5 and Xbox Series X, somewhere around $500 to $600. One of the biggest advantages that Valve's Steam Deck has over other handheld PCs is its price. Due to Steam making 30% of the total price of a sale of a game, they're able to take a loss on the hardware side of things because they know they'll make it up on game sales. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case, as YouTuber Linus Tech Tips brought up Valve's reaction to his insistence that the Steam Machine has the best chance to succeed at the $500 to $6 price range, saying, quote, "I said to Valve I'm disappointed the Steam Machine isn't going to follow a console pricing model because I feel that would be a more meaningful product. Valve then asked me, well, what do you mean by console pricing? And I said $500. Nobody said anything, but the energy in the room wasn't great," close quote. That doesn't really leave you with the feeling that this is going to be a huge success. In another video, Linus created his own version of the Steam Machine and gave a price based on the build and his expectations.
Okay, so what are our calculations?
Well,
If we were to build this machine using the lowest historical pricing from the cheapest sources,
Which I would like to.
and let's say we add $50 for a case,
Right.
we're looking at just over $600 US.
Oh, well, that's great news. I mean, it's SteamOS, so there's no Windows tax, so $599.
I was not done. If we build it today, in the current market conditions from the cheapest sources, we're looking at close to $900.
Oh. But we don't have to buy these exact parts.
No, if we're deal hunters and we don't mind giving up some of the bells and whistles and some of the name brands, it would save you about $100 without giving up any performance.
Okay, but that's retail pricing. That's got some margin built into it, so I don't think I'd say $799 either. Or maybe I would. Chatting with some industry sources, it's estimated that there's as little as 10% net profit in PC parts, which would put our estimated cost between $700 and $750. With that said, Valve benefits from a direct-to-consumer model, meaning that they get to take both the brand and retailer margins. And, as we already acknowledged, we did overspend on a number of our components, including the power supply, the motherboard, and the case, compared to what Valve would pay. With that said, in today's market, I still don't think they're going to get costs under $600 to $650, meaning that the final question is, what kind of markup will Valve target on the Steam machine? Without being a fly on the wall in their boardroom, it's
impossible to say for sure.
all that Valve would tell us is that they want their hardware business to be sustainable. But what does that mean? I think it means $699 US, if there's no major changes in the market. It's probably above Valve's cost today, and there'll be some opportunity for them to improve their margins over the several-year lifespan of their device as their initial investment gets paid off and hopefully RAM and SSD pricing returns to some kind of normalcy.
So would $699 or $799 be too expensive? Let me know your thoughts about the pricing of the Steam machine, and if you're looking forward to its release in the comments. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe. We have new videos coming out every single week here on the channel, and if you can't get enough, make sure you check out our other channels, which include Those Fake Nerds for nerd and pop culture news, Weird Sports for sports news, Better Radio, which hosts all of our podcasts, and our newest channel, History is Wicked, where we cover urban legends, cryptids, and other weird history stories. Again, thank you so much for checking out this video, and I will see you in the next one.